Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The number of positive COVID-19 arrivals into the CNMI continue to rise. Also tonight, DPL is one step closer to leasing out the MARPI land. And a second round of tax refunds could be heading your way this week. In sports, remember when the Tinian Typhoons blew by everyone? We do. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Great customer rep, always willing to go above and beyond for his customers.
I truly hope she gets noticed at work, since I do see she is a hard worker.
The field technician that visited my home was great and helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Uni, keep it up.
Your customer service is always very good.
Awesome customer service with great technicians that are really helpful.
Thank you so much, Sherlyn and Docomo Pacific.
That's so sweet. Feels good to see this kind of messages because we try our best to do customer service.
We make sure that we will 100% resolve the issues.
For all those people that are seeking assistance,
I just want my customers happy
and help them out each and every day.
I would want to go to a place with someone that's just like me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come to Docomo and you'll feel like you're at home.
It's gonna look a little different in here. Your favorite spot might not be exactly where it used to be. Being next in line might feel a little less like next in line. And our smiles might come with a little extra shine. But McDonald's is ready to take your order as safely as we can.
Off a day to Ruwami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Monday, October 26, 2020. 4 new positive cases of COVID-19 have been identified in the CNMI, bringing the total to 92 since March. CHCC states these individuals were identified through testing upon arrival and have been moved to the designated isolation site at Kanoa. This brings the total of positive cases originating from a U.S. territory to 21. Contact tracing has been initiated, which include the passengers from the same flight. To date, 12 individuals remain in isolation and 78 have been released per CDC and medical guidelines. DPL is planning to open bids this week for the MARPI property, the former home of the Marinos Resort. Our Chris Nelson has more.
The MARPI property includes a hotel, spa, cottages, 50-meter swimming pool, racetrack, and golf course. Property is currently being used by the government as a quarantine facility. It was previously managed by the Can Pacific Group from Japan.
We have received a total altogether of 7 proposals. Now, 1 didn't submit payment, so it's unresponsive right off the bat. So we do have 6 on the table right now. I don't have an official listing of who they are. They are still under control by the Director of Real Estate. We are right now communicating with 2 members from MVA to help us in reviewing that proposal. Again, these are new. Never have any other proposals been evaluated outside. I have preferred to call in their expertise because they are familiar with the tourist industry, and they may know something that would be helpful to the team, to the evaluation team, instead of us who are just looking for best and highest use, which is what we will do. But I think altogether it would help us make a very informed decision on the best applicant to select. We do have 6.
Those 6 are believed to include Eland, the current owner of PIC Coral Ocean Golf in Kensington, a company called Marianas Global Ventures, and Yukon.
We do have an internal financial advisor who is very, very resourceful in looking into the financial records of these companies and to ensure that they are backed and actually do have that financial fund. We do also require that they provide proof of funding so that before they execute on their project, there's money and not a half-built project.
Any new lease in MARPI will need approval from the CNMI legislature.
Now, because it's an election year and because we have 6 leases, we may or may not get to it on time with this particular legislature. If we're done reviewing and vetting and getting the blessing from the Public Lands Advisory Board within 2 months, that would be December. By that time, I assume the existing legislature may be sign and die. If they're not, we'll submit it. If they are, we'll have to wait till January where the new inauguration comes in, and then giving them the opportunity to organize, because we will need to submit it to the Natural Resource Committee.
The Department of Public Safety is seeking your help in locating an individual involved in a theft. The individual on your screen, Ronald Jr. Leon Guerrero Ely, is wanted for a theft incident at the Sunstar Tire Shop located in the village of Cagman. On Tuesday, October 20th, 2020, an employee reported to police that Ely came to the tire shop on 2 separate occasions. On the second visit, the shop's hydraulic jack went missing. While Ely turned the camera at the shop to a different angle, a separate camera caught him taking the jack and fleeing the scene. Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio has issued an arrest warrant for Ely, where he is charged with theft. Bail is set at $5,000. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Ronald Jr. Leon Guerrero Ely, call 911, or to remain anonymous, call the CNMI Crime Stoppers at 234-7272. Those waiting on tax refunds may see that money by the end of this week. The first batch of tax refunds were sent out by the Department of Finance about 2 weeks ago. This covers those who filed by April 23rd.
We've distributed about 9,500 taxpayers, 9,600 taxpayers were paid in the first batch up to through April 23rd filings.
Attilik says DOF is preparing the second batch of tax refunds worth $3 million. DOF is just waiting on reimbursement money that is scheduled to come in early this week.
I'm receiving some reimbursements from the Typhoon U2 reimbursements from some of the projects that were awarded. We were going to reserve that money since I've been using monies out of the general fund for our COVID-19 spending, as well as preparing for getting reimbursements from COVID. But any COVID reimbursements coming in are already allocated for the expenses of our ongoing COVID mitigation programs, that like the quarantine cost, as well as additional PPEs that considered that we need to continue to get, and the assistance for CHCC. Working with the PA office and GAR, Vicky Villagomez, on the U2 reimbursements.
Attilig says once DOF receives the funding, he is looking to send out the second batch of refunds later this week.
These will be for those tax returns that taxpayers that filed after the April 23rd date to current, as much as we can, up to $3 million.
DOF is expecting another $5 million for the third batch that will clear out the rest of the tax refunds for taxpayers that have filed and are error-free. The third and final batch will be 10 days after the second batch is sent out. Although a vaccine may be months away for the coronavirus, the CNMI stays prepared. Governor's Authorized Representative Patrick Guerrero says the CNMI has enough personal protective equipment to last the next 3 to 6 months.
We really haven't purchased much actually since May when we took advantage and got a lot of bulk orders. We're good, I think, for the next 3 to 6 months comfortably. And I hope that's reassuring to the people out there. That we stocked up really early, and we've even found at one point to share some of it with our neighbors, brothers and sisters down south who were having a difficult time getting some PPEs during the early surge. We shared some with them.
Guerrero says around $80 million has been obligated to various contracts to protect the people of the CNMI against COVID-19.
How much is actually expended at the end of the day? My accounting would probably put the number in the high 60s. So although we signed over $80 million in contracts, we don't usually use up the whole sum of those contracts. How much more depends now on how much longer we need to fight this disease.
Many of the purchases made for COVID-19 protective equipment are reimbursed by FEMA with a local cost share of 10%. And Guerrero says the cost being incurred is tailing off.
But the level of spending has really dropped from, we got a lot of stuff in the beginning, a lot of equipment, and we supported quarantine at one point. We had 2 hotels and closed one down and still picked up another one. We're still running 2 quarantine facilities. So the cost, was heavy at the front, and it's kind of tailing off. But that doesn't mean we might not see a spike. It looks like it's relative to the number of cases and the threat. So we're prepared.
And while the CNMI may be fully prepared with personal protective equipment, the COVID-19 task force is requesting to keep travel into the CNMI at a minimum. Currently, the CNMI has 3 flights a week between Guam and Saipan on United Airlines. And COVID-19 Task Force Chairman Warren Villagomez says they are pushing to keep it that way until there is a vaccine.
Not the full week schedule. And, if that comes up with United, I don't recommend at this time for many reasons. Because our entry point protocol testing possibly will not change, until we see a vaccine. So in order for us to stay at this number, to stay at this level of safety, I don't foresee promoting additional flight.
He says the current flight schedule between Guam and Saipan is already challenging.
This 3 times a week flight is already taxing to our resources, the laboratory at CACC, as well as making sure that you have a good quality assurance, quality control on your test results that are coming out, as well as our quarantine sites. We see it early on with the high level of passengers coming in. We were chasing down additional hotels as the flight fills up to come to to land here on the CNMI.
There is interest from other airlines regarding flights to the CNMI, but Villagomez says no communication has been made between the task force and other airlines yet. Coming up, the NMI Humanities Council selects its award winners of the year. That story follows a break.
Buy one, get one free for the off-road adventure at Mariana's Trekking. Come ride our side-by-sides at our best price ever and experience a great 90-minute trail ride. Rain or shine, hopefully rain. Book now at Mariana's Trekking. Saturdays and Sundays by reservation. Call 323-8735 or book at marianastrekking.com.
Make it special. Make it 360. The best food and views all the way around.
In order to keep CNMI roads safe, both drivers and walkers need to do their part. Here are some tips for pedestrian safety. 1. Be sure to press the crosswalk button when crossing marked crosswalks and intersections. 2. Hit the road by placing one foot forward to show drivers you are intending to cross. 3. Make eye contact with drivers before crossing the road. When you are driving, drive at safe speeds, drive alert, and always scan the road and sidewalks ahead for pedestrians. Remember, it's the law to stop for pedestrians when they are crossing at both marked crosswalks and intersections.
Jose and Pedro were born on the very same day. Jose liked to play sports. Pedro liked to play video games. Jose's favorite word was pass. Pass me the ball. Pedro's favorite word was pass too. Pass me the rice. Jose is retired and has both time and energy. His life is just beginning. Pedro has diabetes, hypertension, and gout. His life could soon end. Eat less, play more, live longer. Brought to you by PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. The Northern Marianas Humanities Council held its 23rd Governor's Awards Saturday at PIC, where individuals were honored for their achievements.
The Humanities Council was first formed in 1991 thanks to the initiative and energy of the late Dan Nielsen. Agnes McPheeters chaired that inaugural board.
And who wrote the proposal? No other than my faithful and great person, Dan Nielsen. He created something that we didn't have at that time, and I hope we will continue expanding what he started.
Current board chair Robert Torres saluted the founder of the CNMI Humanities Program.
And he also drafted the educational tax credit legislation that allows each of us the opportunity, because we just want to pay our taxes to the central government, but we believe that we can redirect it to education, an educational institution, and so the educational tax credit gave us that opportunity to pass it on to schools and educational institutions, of which the Humanities Council, and the irony is, the very beneficiary of the program that he created. No irony, it's just a testament to all things that lead to education.
Nielsen brought in tens of millions of dollars to the CNMI community by winning grants. His wife, Lucy De Leon Guerrero, noted that he made substantial contributions throughout the community.
The Upward Bound program itself, he wrote in over $10 million for the college. He wrote grants also for the American Samoa Upward Bound program. He wrote many grants for DYS, DCCA, Friends of the Public Library, and he had worked for Montgomery.
Anita Sablon took home the Outstanding Humanities Teacher Award. The Marianas High School English instructor is also active in many cultural and other activities promoting the indigenous language.
My passion of helping, every way I can. So with me, I've always dreamed to become a teacher someday, and when I was a senior at Marianas High School, they offered the Teacher Academy program. So I was one of those product of that program. So when I took that class, that's when I felt that education is my passion and it was my calling. So I went to school, I majored in English, came back, and from there.
For her work collecting oral stories about post-World War II camp internment, archaeologist Stephanie Soder was honored, accepting the award from her home in Delaware.
I'd like to start by saying that I am truly honored that the community would find the work that I did worthy of this award. You always hope that the research that you do is meaningful and important to those that were part of it, and I know that this project would not have been as successful without the help and guidance of those in the community and those involved in the communities on the island.
For his advocacy and activism, Ambrose Bennett received a Lifetime Achievement Award.
As there is a real cost in trying to help people. I have paid more than once through personal public attacks, rejections of proposals, and so has my wife, and even my daughters have endured the wrath of opposition from my efforts to influence change in the CNMI. But I am so thankful and fortunate that good always conquers evil. And just like love conquers all.
Eusebio Borja is a recognized master of arts and culture, well known for the traditional ox cart, the only person still practicing the traditional form of transportation.
I'm only going 3 miles an hour. So every time I was riding the go-kart down the Bispo, and my friend said, "Can we take picture?" I said, "I'm sorry, baby, because I don't have brake. I don't have transmission, you know. The car is driving, not me. So if I go to you, I take the car, but they're going to take me. So take both of us." So the policeman said, "Never mind, because there's a lot of work for me. Forget it, go."
Borja loves to showcase his ox cart all over the island.
And my passion is to get out there, show the people what you got, ride on the go-kart, and you know, enjoy the cultural way. So I want people to get involved. I cannot do it myself.
Congratulations to you all. All right, coming up, a blast from the past. We've got pigskin memories when footballs flew over Airport Field. That's the sports report, of course.
Thank you for being here with us.
For finding ways to keep things happening.
For making things feel a lot better.
Thank you.
Energize, realize, feels so good just to be alive. Time's a gift, my time is free. I can spend it on you, you can spend it on me. I can say you'll be blown away by the change you see me. And I feel alright, dance all night, put a little flavor in my life.
Thank you for staying strong with us.
And for us.
Thank you for always connecting.
For keeping us together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding us
that despite this distance,
we are still better together.
Docomo Pacific, better together.
The Tan Soo Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goats Gym, and today we're going to go over the kettlebell deadlift. Fantastic exercise to build overall strength, particularly in the legs and hips. Remember, we want to make sure that our setup is in good position. If you set up in a bad position, it's not going to look good and it's certainly not going to feel good. So a common error setup is obviously a rounded upper back. Two simple ways of correcting that. All I'm gonna have Vince do here is extend his arms up here, and all he's gonna do is think about reaching long and pushing his hips back. Reach long and push your hips back. So as you can see, he's already in good position. Now all he's gonna do is grab that kettlebell. He's got tension in his legs and in his back. All he's gonna do is just stand up tall, finish with his glutes.
Did you know CNMI's coral reefs and seagrass ecosystems are worth about $115 million a year? Coral reefs alone are valued over $100 million a year. All the more reason these precious ecosystems must continue to be protected. Coral reefs are important to the people of the CNMI because they provide traditional and subsistence uses, production of commercial food products, recreational opportunities for a healthy tourist economy, and physical protection from storms. Do not break or collect coral to take home with you. We need them. Corals are living animals, and it takes decades to create reef structures. Planting trees, grass, and shrubs on bare soil helps prevent sediment from entering our oceans. Trees also help fight climate change. Use a rain barrel and collect water from roofs, yards, and paved surfaces. You can help keep storm water on your property and pollutants out of waterways by building a rain garden. The ocean floor isn't a dance floor. Stepping on corals can break them. Maintain buoyancy when snorkeling or diving. Nutrients from excess fertilizer increases algae growth that blocks sunlight to corals. Coral reefs need clean, clear water to survive. Help keep our beaches litter-free. Always take out your own trash and a little bit more. Anchor in sandy areas away from coral and seagrass or use mooring buoys so the anchor and chain do not drag on nearby corals. Reduce, reuse, rethink, repair, refuse, recycle. Do not feed the fish. Do not take or step on coral. Do not collect shells. Do not fish. Help with local tree planting community events, local beach cleanups, and get involved in protecting your watershed. Participate in training or education programs that focus on reef ecology. You can make a difference. Please contact Mina to get involved in community conservation.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, man, what a great NFL game on TV this afternoon, which made me miss the old CFL. Remember the Commonwealth Football League? Would you believe that was 15 years ago this week?
Fourth quarter, close game. Tinian Typhoons leading the Barbarians 13-12. Josh Mangalonia picks off Plas Tagabuel's pass and put the Typhoons in good field position inside the Barbarian 40-yard line. But the Typhoons turned the ball back to the Barbarians when Juanis King was picked off by Tagabuel at the 3-yard line. A running play and two incomplete passes forced the Barbarians to punt from their own end zone. And it was a horrible punt, a shank that went out of bounds at the 21-yard line. On second down, King was in the shotgun, looking to pass, not seeing anyone open. He tucked the ball in and took off, evading two would-be tacklers and taking it into the end zone, giving Tinian a 19-12 lead.
That run, it looked like he had you, then what happened?
I just gave him a pump fake and I shake him in the line.
What can you do the rest of this game?
We just have to control the ball. Offense has to control the ball. We're going to try and run it down, run the timeout.
On the next Barbarians possession, Tagovailoa was picked off again, this time by Blake Manabusen, his second pick of the game. The first time he went 67 yards for a touchdown. This time he goes 65 yards for the score. P.J. Borja kicked the extra point. Tinian gets their second win of the season, while the Barbarians remain winless. Typhoons win 26-20. Manabusen leads the league with 5 interceptions.
How do you get all these interceptions?
Just read the play.
We're not done. All right. Yeah. Pretty easy?
Yeah.
How was that last touchdown?
It's fun.
In the second game, the Lightning walked off winners after they defeated the Eagles 28-22.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Go-karts, off-roading, and the driving range now open at Marianas Trekking. Go-kart track will be open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays with 50% off when you book online at marianastrekking.com, hours 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Use the promo code HAFA50 to get your discount. Off-roading is open too by reservation. Come on a 90-minute trail ride that is perfect for families. Book online at marianastrekking.com. Golfers, come practice on the driving range. You can even pay online, and we will have the balls waiting for you. Come see us weekends at Marianas Trekking, 323-8735. You have the flexibility to work out between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. At Gold's Gym, we call this off-peak, and it can save you money. Short-term daytime memberships on sale now, just $59 per month, and gets you access to the biggest and cleanest fitness center on island. Get yourself healthy and strong. Check out Gold's Gym today.
Today's high 88, the low 77, humidity 72%. Tomorrow, scattered showers, even possible thunderstorms, winds out of the east 10 to 15. High 86, low 77, seas 4 to 6 feet, sunrise 6:10, and sunset at 5:50. That is your new sports and weather on this Monday. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you back here Wednesday night.